Live from the nation's capital, it's Washington, D.C., as the D.C. Dragons play host to the Louisiana Revolution. Dungeon dubbed Daenerys Coliseum is the site for the matchup today. Alongside our statisticians Ramos Lynn and Frank Gooden, I'm your play-by-play man Colin Northrup, here to bring every bit of the action to you. As my partner this week is the Hall of Famer, Damon Simeon. Welcome in, Damon.
Hey, Colin. Absolutely glad to be here, my guy. Subbing in for Rick Northrup, your dad. Due to, Rick had other obligations this weekend. But hey, man, I am also excited about this ball. These uniforms from both of these clubs. Louisiana is repping their alternate logos on the helmet with the L, representing the Louisiana state outline there as well, with Revs on the side. And DC is repping their Into the Dragon uniform, should we say, in reference to the 50th anniversary of Bruce Lee, the 50th anniversary of Enter the Dragon, the movie. We all know that the owner of the DC Dragons is a big Bruce Lee fan. This guy is so much of a kung fu fan. He even knows that he was born on the year of the dragon. So that's why this team is called the Dragons. That's why he's a big fan of Bruce Lee, because he was born on the birthday of the dragon.
Kickoff return underway up the middle. And down to the 27 goes Reg De Niro up the kick from Potty. And we'll get our first look at this Revolution offense. And so far this season, Damon, their defense has been up to snuff.
Yeah, the defense has been pretty good for Louisiana. They not giving up too many points, should we say, and we'll get to that in a little bit here. We got this first down going up here for Louisiana, and they look like they're ready to get things rolling.
Tommy Utah under center. It'll be 1st and 10 out of the I formation. Cameron Collier, the fullback, will give you the starting lineups after this play. This will be a Tommy Utah pass. Dump out to Dwayne Salmons. He'll be stopped in the line of scrimmage by Chris Britton III for no gain. For Louisiana on offense, Dwayne Salmons is the running back. The other running back is Chris Grant Jr., both first-round picked rookies. Cameron Collier, the fullback. Wide receivers, Lyric DaVinci, Adam Banks, Reg De Niro. Tight ends, Levy Lease and John Michael Suddeth. The offensive linemen, Sergo Katzloff, Cole Katz, Odette Boudreau, and Ross Napoli. As this throw is complete for a first down to Liam Hammer.
I mean, the Revs offensive line gave Tommy Utah a lot of time. He had enough time to pump fake. Look at 96 jump up in the air to try to knock that ball down and swat it away. But Tommy Utah able to pump fake him, fool him out, sees his receiver coming right across the middle of the field, dart, first down.
25-yard gain on the pass play to Hammer. Give you the DC lineups after this play, which is a Salmons handoff. He'll get stopped in the line of scrimmage for no gain. 2nd down, tackle made by Declan O'Rourke, the inside linebacker.
Yeah,
He's joined out there by Chris Britton III, Saeed Gore. Defensive backs Xavier Rowe III, Peanut Sane, Daryl Bullock, and Jadobi Dew. Safeties John DeSantis, Josh Vasquez, and Kev Say Jr., along with defensive linemen Jose Fuentes and John Gary and the rookie Evan Miller. Kennel Fortson and Jason Bourne are the tackles, as this pass is incomplete, setting up a 3rd and 10.
That pass there was intended for Lyric DaVinci and comes up just short there with a drop pass. Now Louisiana is 3rd and long, sitting here at their own 47-yard line, unable to move the ball thus far after picking up that big first down on that 26-yard gain on the first outing of the start of this possession here, should we say.
Utah back to throw. Steps, throws, complete to Hammer again for the first down past the 40 at about the 35-yard line.
Liam Hammer comes up and says, eventually, let me show you how to grab the ball out of the air, buddy. There's a cross pattern there with Liam Hammer and Adam Banks, and Tommy Utah put it right on the money, only where Hammer can go up and get that ball so that the defender could not have a chance at it.
Here's Utah under center. He's 3 of 4 passing on this drive for 40 yards. He's back to throw again. Fires over the middle, caught by Hammer. First down to the 15. They can't stop the Utah to Hammer connection.
Hey, Colin, you took the words right out of my mouth. Is that this Louisiana offense is starting to move the ball downfield. 2 first downs in a row. What should we say? 3 first downs in a row after having that long 3rd and 10. And they picked up a first down on in that sequence of downs. And now they're 1st and 10 here now again. And they're right in red zone situation right here at the 14-yard line.
1st and 10, Utah back to throw again. Clean pocket, fires underneath. Catch made this time by DaVinci. Picks up 7. 2nd and 3.
Yeah, great concentration there by DaVinci this time, making sure that the ball is caught before trying to turn upfield. On the last pass attempt to the direction of DaVinci, basically tried to turn upfield first and end up dropping the ball.
Here's the first carry of the game for Chris Grant Jr. It'll be a touchdown as he sheds a tackle, making it look easy. And Louisiana strikes first.
Chris Grant Jr. comes away with that touchdown run there. Right up the middle, no holds bar style. Runs the guy over. And hey, I'm walking in the end zone. Look at her. Get off me, son. I'm crossing Hollywood Boulevard. I got appointments to make.
Josh Vasquez, the only guy up there with a shot, and Grant Jr. able to use his power. As Otis Boudreau on for the extra point. We have a 7-0 lead with 7:02 to go in the first quarter. 8-play, 72-yard drive taking 2 minutes and 58 seconds off the clock. And Chris Grant Jr. on his first touch of the game finds his way for 6 points.
This is the second meeting between these two teams. The Revolution won the last matchup 16-10. Let's see if we can match that score or even get a better offensive game between these two guys, between these two teams, should we say. DC's in the standings of 1-1. The Revolution coming in at 1-2. And here's
Sam Harrison on the return. He's got the kicker to beat. Spins inside before he's fought down at the Dragon 48. Fantastic field position for the DC offense as Harrison once again continues to show why he's made such a huge impact as a rookie.
Yeah, Sam Harrison has been doing an outstanding job, especially here on special teams. And there's a look at there, that broken tackle from the first guy who tried to come down with the hit. But he has a kick return for a touchdown already this season, happening early in the season on the first game against Charleston.
For DC on offense, they're quarterbacked by Sebastian Synergy, number 7. Halfbacks are Chuck Steller and Kevin Say. Fullback is Cooper Allen. Receivers, Ronnie Shanahan, Mike Churchill, and Josh Gill, along with Sam Harrison. Lauren Percoco and James Walters are the tight ends. They also have members along the offensive line we'll get to after this play, which will be a toss-out to Kevin Say. Say has plenty of room, breaks off a tackle, picks up 6 yards. It'll be 2nd and 4.
Also, on that last possession, Johnny Utah goes over 13,000 yards passing so far of his young career here in the SFL. Congratulations, Johnny. I'm sorry, Tommy. Tommy Utah.
6-yard carry there for Say. Toss again out to Kevin. Breaks a tackle of Rolliman Hood. Breaks a second tackle, Gary Clement. They won't give him the first. It'll be 3rd and inches.
Kevin Say putting in work with those stiff arms, isn't he, Colin?
He sure is. And the offensive left tackle is Lucas Walters, son of James Walters. For the Revolution on defense, Brian Craven, Gary Burney are the defensive ends. Neil Rivers, Chance Wall are the tackles. Tommy Wellbrock, Bussy, Chuck Diesel are the inside linebackers. Say making a nice move in the hole, gets the first down with ease. For first down there, Blake B. Craze, in addition to Gary Clem, are round out the linebacking core. Rolliman Hood, Nathan Blake, Even Arthur, Dante Grimm, Tank Bennett, and Jeff Melanishin are the defensive secondary members as Josh Gill goes in motion. So that was Stellar up the middle. Stopped for no gain by Wall, number 99.
Yeah, Stella goes nowhere on that rushing attempt there right at the middle of the field. You see 99. You see how big this guy is. I mean, he stands at 6'4", 320 pounds, fifth-year man, all 5 seasons here with the Revs, and he's clogging up the middle of the field there.
Give up the middle. They'll say he got one, but that's generous at best as Diesel makes the tackle.
Yeah, I agree with your partner. I don't think he got the 1 yard there, but the refs are being generous with the spot of the ball.
3rd down and 9 for DC. Synergy. Back to throw, sets, fires, down the field, one-handed catch. And that's the Nice Hands catch brought to you by Retroid. Put a Retroid handheld in your hands and play the only video game with your player in it. SFL 4K23. What a catch out there by the receiver, Damon.
Yeah, 20-yard pickup there by Ronnie Shanahan on that one-hand reception. As you just stated, the Retroid catch of the game so far. I mean, we have been seeing some outstanding catches, animations here to start this season 21 in the SFL.
Give off to Kevin Say again. This time he finds room, breaks off a tackle, gets the first down as he's inside the 10-yard line. They'll leave 1st and goal for DC as they are coming right back down the field.
Back-to-back first downs for this DC this offensive DC here in this drive. The Revs went down with a nice drive, and DC is answering right back with a nice long drive of their own here to start. And they're right inside their goal line, right at the 9-yard line.
1st and goal. Say the single back. 2 tight ends in the game. One of whom is an extra offensive lineman. Toss out to Say to the left side. Breaks off a tackle. That time he got a yard for sure. Down to the 9. It'll be 2nd and goal. Aerial coverage of today's game brought to you by Dags Droneworks. Aerial photography and videography services for real estate, events, marketing, and more. Learn more at dagsdroneworks.com. They always do great work, Damon, as it's 2nd and goal for DC. Synergy down the field to the end zone. Touchdown, Dragons. It's Lauren Percoco.
Lauren Percoco, also known as the Doctor, gets into the end zone, get enough space, breaks out towards the top of the field, gets a little space there, and comes away with that catch.
Another look at it one more time. Right in front of the linebacker, Chuck Diesel. And the Dragons are an extra point away from the tie. Potty, the kicker, number 15. One of the league's best. As the extra point is up and good. Shout out to my father, Rick Northup, in the chat. He's out on vacation in Cape Cod, Massachusetts. And he's loving the call here with you and me, Damon.
But Colin, earlier before the start of the game, we was discussing about the defense of Louisiana. Louisiana gives up 21.3 points per game here in the SFL, which is number 8 in the defensive rankings. Now, the DC Dragons give up 18.5 points per game, which is number 4 in the SFL.
So far, the offenses have come to play. Louisiana, they've struggled. They're ranked 23rd in points per game with just over 19 per game through 2 games played. So far. Actually, 3 games. The Salmons gets the first down on that carry.
Yeah, nice run there by Salmons. His first carry of the game. Basically, the last drive was all passing with the receivers, and then Chris Grant, but gets into the end zone of it by him, by himself on that last run. Good to see Salmons getting involved in the run game as well. I love both of these running backs. You can see Salmons is at fullback right now.
We got a fast-moving first quarter. Pitch out to Salmons from the deep back position, and he carries Peanut safe forward for a pickup of 3.
Yeah, my apologies. That was Cameron Collier sitting at the fullback spot. I thought I saw Dwayne Simmons in that spot as well.
Occasionally they'll throw you a little curveball. So
yeah, as we saw Indianapolis tried to do last week, they had the tackle playing at the fullback spot.
Here's Salmons up the middle. We'll make it 3rd and 4. If you're new to the Simulation Football League, welcome. SFL is football for everyone. Get off the sideline and start your player today by joining our Discord server at simulationfl.net. Click the join community button and begin your career, or just to meet the stars of the SFL on and off the field. It's never too late to get involved as this pass is intercepted and returned upfield. And running away for a touchdown is Bullock for DC. It's a big 6.
Darrell Bullock just crossed Hollywood Boulevard with an outstanding pick 6 there, Colin Northrup. I mean, take a look at this reception from the DB coming from that cornerback spot. Wait, look how his body turned around. We may have to change that retro catch of the game to this one right here, buddy. That was a phenomenal and athletic interception by Bullock.
And this is a DC team that had only 2 takeaways all year. That's takeaway number 3. And boy, did it cash it in for a big play, as the extra point is up and through. And while I have your attention, for all the league highlights, photo galleries, major and minor league stats, leaderboards, community content, and so much more, check out the league's website at simulationfl.net, presented by Football Chip. Stay up to date and explore past, present, and future.
Colin, you know what's more exciting to a head coach? It's when his defense can put points on the board. At least that's what I was told.
I can't help but agree. If your defense is contributing, and Louisiana, they just have to have amnesia right as they come back out. And Tommy Utah only 1 incompletion on the opening drive, but unfortunately he threw that to the wrong colored jersey. It won't go down as a completion.
They were having a productive drive right before the interception with the run game. I think the Revs have to keep the run game more involved.
From the 24, and they'll start off with Salmons. He breaks a tackle, and looks like we may have somebody hurt. Yes, it's Declan O'Rourke. The inside linebacker for the Dragons is down and injured. You hate to see this, Damon.
Yeah, you do. And Colin, unfortunately, the DC Dragons are going to lose their captain of the defense right there in the middle. That inside linebacker, normally always the captain of the front 7 there, and they're losing a great player. Not saying they're losing, but he's going to be removed from the game. We don't know how long he'll be out, but we'll keep an eye out to see if Declan O'Rourke comes back. Tough loss for DC.
Chris Grant Jr. checks into the backfield, standard pro set, and he gets to carry his 2nd of the day, and it's productive. Close to a first down. It'll be 3rd and less than 1.
Yeah, a little nice productive run there by Grant. I like the way how he keeps his full steam ahead, and he gets right behind his pads when contact is coming near to him.
Revs with a receiver tight to the wing. They go a couple tight ends. Here's to get to Salmons. He got the first down. Didn't need much, but he got enough.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Colin. He didn't need much, but he got just enough to get past the line to gain, should we say, But give credit to DC's defense not allowing him to get much yardage on that carry.
Draw play up the middle. Simmons breaks off a tackle, carrying defenders, and gets shoved forward out there. Pick up a 9.
And Dwayne Salmons yells up to the booth up here and say, "Hey, Hall of Famer, how about this one? I get more than a few yards here. Look at me now. I'm breaking tackles. I'm putting my shoulder down." Great run there by Dwayne Salmons. Colin, this is a beautiful venue.
Oh, yeah, it is for sure. It's my first time being here inside the dungeon of Gennary's Coliseum with all the architecture around the windows and stuff for sure. It's definitely eye-catching for sure as Grant Jr. picks up the first down. As we see the crawler go across the screen, I want to talk about the Queen City Corsairs. They were on that losing streak. They went winless a year ago, and they popped off in a big way versus Charleston.
Yeah, you're right. They absolutely came up big today with that victory. I mean, there was a big win for Queen City.
As Sammons continues to lower the boom and picks up 5 yards.
Yeah, anytime an organization goes an entire season without winning a ball game and they get their first win of the next season, that's got to be motivation for that organization, right? Hey, we got to win. Okay, we can actually breathe now, right? Let's relax, get things going, and let's keep the momentum going off of this win. It's probably what DC, the head front office and coach telling their players and so forth. Let's keep this momentum going into the next week, and let's see where this thing leads up to.
End of the first quarter, 14-7, DC in front. Over the Louisiana Revolution. Rebs have the ball to start the second quarter. Ramos Lynn, Frank Gunn, our statisticians, Colin Northwood, Damon Simmon here in the broadcast booth with you, Cameron Irvine, executive producer extraordinaire. As this throw over the middle, what a diving catch by John Michael Sutter to make it 3rd and 2.
Nice catch there by Sutter. I mean, ball wasn't right in his vicinity, so he had to dive, get both hands extended out front. It was a short pass. Had to dive low for it, comes away with the reception, down the red or in short down to distance on 3rd and 2.
Here's Sammons. Oh, he got hung up behind his blocker. I believe that was Napoli, number 69, and Vasquez makes sure to stop him. Only a pickup of 1. It'll be 4th down.
Yeah, you're right. Sammons did get tied up right there behind his offensive lineman. I think, as you stated, it was 69 Cole Katz, who he was running right behind him. Unfortunately, he couldn't bounce outside or bounce inside, and he was drilled right in the backfield, unable to pick up the first down. Vida
Lee, the undrafted free agent punter, gets this away, and Harrison has to call a fair catch at his own 14-yard line.
Yeah, DC is doing outstanding here thus far in this ball game. As we stated, DC only gives up 18 points a game, 18 and a half points a game. Not sure what's a half a point in the league, but I've never seen it. But I know what it means. But no, they're only giving up 18 and a half points per game, and I guess you can say 19 running off, but they're playing ecstatic defense. Before only gave up 7 points on that first drive. Here comes the offense.
Here's Kevin Say on the toss play, picks up 3 yards. Tackle made by Tate Bennett. And so far, Sebastian Energy is calling a perfect game as offensive coordinator.
Yeah, Sebastian Energy is one of these quarterbacks here in the SFL that hasn't thrown an interception all season. Actually, he's number 1. He's not even tied for number 1. He's the only QB that haven't thrown a pick in this young season here in the SFL.
A pretty impressive stat as this tossed out to Stellar. He's got all kinds of room. Runs away from Grimm down the sidelines before stepping out of bounds after the huge gain.
Yeah, that was a big game there, Colin Northrup from Stellar. Stellar also had a big game back in week 1 when Kevin Say had a nice game himself, but Stellar basically held the team together. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, I think Kevin Say went down in week 1 and Stellar came in and picked up the pieces.
Oh, yeah, that's showing the value of that second tailback if you can afford it on the roster. Really nice construction there by the front office staff of DC. 26-yard gain for Stellar on that little toss play. And Synergy over the middle. Diving catch made by Percoco. She gets 9.
I'm not agreeing with the spot of the ball here, Colin. I think Percoco got the first down, but if the ref want to call where the butt lands, that's where the play ends. But I think the ball crossed the line to gain. In that situation. But who am I? I'm just a guy with a day job, right?
I definitely agree with you, Demond. It looked like the ball was definitely past the yellow line. Of course, the yellow line is unofficial. Kevin Say on a toss. Ooh, got caught up in traffic. And number 42, Wellbrook Bussy, recording the stop there to make this a 3rd and 2.
Yeah, I guess he came up and say, I'm tired of all this DC getting the first downs here. Let's go ahead, defense. Let's, pick things up. Let's get things going here. Let's put a hat on a hat.
Here's to give up the middle to Say. First down and plenty more as he carries Arthur.
Man, Kevin Say with a full head of steam.
Oh, man, this guy, I tell you what, he's, one of these guys who's built low to the ground. And he's only 6 foot, but he's 200 pounds. And right there, he used every bit of his body weight to carry the defender forward.
All muscle. I heard he only has 1% of body fat.
Surely that makes the other running backs jealous as he picks up 6 yards to make it 2nd and 4. You see the numbers for Say here early.
Colin, that was funny.
Thank you. I'll be here all evening. 2nd and 4, Synergy under center. Split backs to the wing. Single wide receivers Josh Gill. Toss out to Say. Say has plenty of room, makes a man miss, but Gary Clem cleans up the mess to set up another 3rd and short.
If I'm not mistaken, I think that was a fullback sweep or fullback toss. I think Say was lined up in the fullback spot, and Chuck Staley was lined up at the halfback spot, and they sent that toss to Kevin Say on that play there.
Now they flip positions, and they do the toss the other way with the guard pulling in front as Say gets a first down to the 20-yard line. They'll mark him.
Yeah, 2 toss plays back-to-back to Kevin Say. Allow Say to get things rolling to pick up the first down there. 1st and 10 at the 19.
2 tight ends the same side, Walters and Percoco. Toss to Say again, breaks a tackle initially, but not so lucky on the 2nd attempt as that man, number 27, Tank Bennett, came in to clean up the mess. He's a tackling machine, DeMont.
Yeah, Tank Bennett came up with no holds barred and basically brought down the runner, not allowing the runner to do anything in that situation, yet alone not even gaining a yard.
Here's Synergy back to throw. Fires him in the middle for Coco again. Down inside the 5. It'll be 1st and goal.
That is a 14-yard pickup there from Sebastian Synergy to Lauren Percoco. Sebastian Synergy is keeping it clean here. I'm not going to commentators curse or anything here, but if you know anything about Sebastian Synergy, he was an INT machine the past few seasons or so.
Percoco, that's her 3rd catch. She's up to 32 yards, long of 15. Now the I formation, Stellar lined up as the fullback. In front of Kevin Say. Say gets the ball, 2nd man through the Gary Clem with a beautiful form tackle to stop him for no gain.
And that was a great tackle there by 41. Man, nice tackle there. Gary Clem to stop Kevin Say in his tracks right there at the 3-yard line.
His 2nd and goal. Again, they line up Josh Gill to the wing. 2 tight ends on the field for DC against the goal line defense. Toss out to Say. Say has room, but Tank Bennett makes a tackle at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd and goal.
Tank Bennett, 11 seasons in the SFL, all with the Rev/, Pharaohs, if I'm not mistaken. I think he was part of that Pharaohs organization.
Yeah,
Uh,
when Gerald Smith bought the team and moved them to Houma, Louisiana.
Absolutely.
So we now approach under 4 minutes to go. Mike Churchill, the man in motion. He's been quiet so far, number 19.
No one's covering Churchill in the slot. They're going to dump it off here to Say got one man to beat. Touchdown.
Touchdown. Oh my, Kevin Say says, I'll do it myself after the dump off from Sebas. And that's Synergy's second touchdown as of the first half.
Synergy base, I mean, not Synergy. Kevin Say here, hey, there's a train coming through and you're standing on the tracks. You may want to get out the way, baby.
DC Dragons 4.5 point favorites coming in over under 44.5. A lot of people were looking at this game, and you know, the under looks pretty good to a lot of the general SFL public as Potty makes it a 21-7 affair. But I tell you what, Damon, if the Dragons continue to press the advantage, we might see that total be blown up.
Yeah, you're right. You mentioned it that that Sebastian Synergy has been clean, and he is 5 for 5 on the day. You know, give credit to both of these quarterbacks. You know,
return up the middle to the 26-yard line in the Louisiana Revolution. Boy, they had some good things going early, Damon, but ever since that pick 6 by Bullock, it seems like they've been stuck in neutral.
Yeah, they're right. As we saw the last drive, they basically went run heavy on the last possession for Louisiana. I think they got to keep Tommy Utah involved in this ball game. He's 6 for 8 in his attempts and completion, ratio. Keep him more involved, whether it's dumping off out routes or so, but do not allow him to lose that confidence that he has by continuing to just run the ball.
We have a 1st and 10. Utah taking his play clock down. Pitch out to Salmons. Salmons has blockers. Down the field he goes, and it's a first down. Out of bounds, Salmons with his best run of the game so far. First down for Louisiana. First and 10 for the Reps. Just short of their own 45 as Utah throws out to Salmons. Salmons with a nice stiff arm down the sidelines. Look at the toes to stay in bounds and picks up the first down. Boy, that nice stiff arm there by Connor O'Rourke, who's back in the game following what appeared to be a minor injury. We have a first and 10. This is Adam Banks in motion, number 80, as Utah has to dump it off again to Salmons, and this time Chris Britton III comes up like a flash and brings him down for a loss of 3 in the backfield.
Yeah, DC brought some pretty good pressure there, and Tommy Utah was a little hassle on that drop back. But a good coverage there by Britton to take down the halfback in the flat.
Let's see if Utah decides to go down the field a little bit more. He will. Post dropped by Liam Emmer. He could have had the first down and he hung on to the ball, but free safety back there. John DeSantis had other ideas.
Yeah, that was a beautiful pass by Tommy Utah to Liam Hammer, and he hammered with a beautiful athletic attempt on the reception, but he couldn't bring it down as the ball was thrown just a little bit behind him. You saw he had to turn his body around to try to make that catch.
Here's Utah back to throw. Fires a flag. Looks like they're going to get an interference call. And that'll be enough to give the Revs a first down.
Yeah,
DeSantis, the guilty party there.
Yeah, the Revs was bailed out on this one, but we're going to take a look at it here. I don't agree with that. I don't see any contact there, at least not enough contact for incidental pass interference.
I'm surprised by that, Damon. Being a receiver, it looked like he impeded the receiver's attempts to try and get to the ball.
Yeah, he was in the vicinity, but I just didn't see enough contact there. But well, he did have his back turned towards the ball, so maybe if he would have turned his head around, he probably would not have been called.
Utah,
yeah.
Down to Da Vinci, that'll pick up 6 as they start to continue to attack down the field more.
And give credit to Utah, man. He's getting his receivers involved. You know, Da Vinci has, I think, 2 receptions. Liam Hammer has 4 targets and 3 receptions. John Michael Sutton has quite a few of receptions as well. Oh, nice one.
As Salmons breaks a tackle angle, get the first down exactly at the 20.
Man, that was a hard run by Dwayne Salmons, and we're going to take a look at it here, Colin. Look at here. Watch this. Boom! Punch this. Did you see the main thing about that run there, about that hit, is he covered the ball. Protect the ball. You know, get your points of pressure on the ball. Make sure the ball is protected. He covered it with both hands before he put his shoulders and his helmet down to make contact with the defender.
Just good fundamentals there by Salmons, who has 11 carries for 62 yards. They have 3 receivers out. Da Vinci lined up as a tight end. Utah back to throw. Down the middle, tipped and incomplete. Adam Banks, the intended receiver. Chris Britton III says, "No, sir."
Yeah, with Declan O'Rourke being out, Chris Britton is stepping up for this linebacker group here. I mean, he has a tackle for loss. He also has a deflection, as we just saw there. Declan O'Rourke is back on the field. 54 is lined up toward the left side of the defense.
Britton III with a very athletic play there as Utah has to dump this underneath to Da Vinci, and Da Vinci will lose the yard because he had to sort of circumnavigate around after catching a ball that was a wee bit behind him.
And we just saw that Declan O'Rourke on the tackle for a loss after coming back into the ball game after being not carted off, but helped off the field with an injury.
Here's Utah back to throw, fires down the field, touchdown! Touchdown for Reg De Niro. And his first reception of the game is good for 6 points.
Yeah, he came out of nowhere. He came out of nowhere, and they went to a spread. I mean, this is great defense by Peanut Say, though. I mean, he's right there covering the wide receiver, and Tommy Utah just put it in the perfect spot.
Otis Boudreau on for the extra point attempt. That is what quarterbacks call a hole shot, Damon. He had the tiniest of windows to fit it in there, and Tommy Utah did exactly just that, capping off a 9-play, 73-yard drive. And just like that, we have a 1-score ball game again. 1:27 left in the first half.
You're absolutely right. Colin, earlier we talked about the defense of both of these teams. Let's talk about the offense a little bit. DC Dragons averaged 24 points a game. And the Revolution of Louisiana averaged right at 19.7 points. Revs average more passing yards per game, but DC Dragons average more rushing yards per game. But here's the kicker, though. Turnovers to takeaways. Louisiana normally gives the ball up. DC haven't done so yet this season.
Utah throwing for 103 yards on 11 of 15 passing. Sebastian Energy a perfect 5 for 5, 59 yards, and tossing 2 touchdowns in the end zone. He's done a lot of this, though. Pitch off to Kevin Say, and Say will pick up 3 yards to get the clock moving. Interesting call here by the Dragons.
Yeah, I think the Dragons probably may want to come out and probably just run this ball and, burn clock here. Just take it into the half as, they're up by 7 points. No need to try to break the bank here and throw an interception or anything of that nature, to get yourself in harm's way to allow Louisiana to get right back into the game so quickly.
Here's Stellar in motion. He lines up in the slot. They pitch it to Say the other way, however, and Kevin Say frickin' tackles him off a guy. And he gets a first down as Evan Arthur makes the stop. Look at the blocking right there. In particular, Lauren Percoco finishing off the play on Dante Grimm.
Yeah, they give it to Kevin Say there on that toss, also known as, Moose or the Sheriff is what they call him in DC. He picks up a first down there on a nice run out to the 31-yard line. Got his team 1st and 10 with 20-some seconds left on the clock. I think they're looking pretty good.
It gives carry number 18, picks up 8 yards. It'll be 2nd and 2. And despite having all 3 timeouts, it looks like DC is content to run down the rest of this clock demand.
Yeah, that's absolutely what they're going to do here. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Louisiana, DC is going to get the ball right back at the half. Louisiana received the ball after the coin toss there. Here's another toss to Say.
Say has room in the open field. He's up over the 50, and he gets knocked out of bounds at about the 45, and that'll be the end of a very entertaining first half of play as DC leads Louisiana by the score 21-14. Demand, let's take a look at the halftime facts and figures. What stood out to you?
Well, what stood out to me is the offense of DC. I mean, they look like the complete total package. Running the ball, passing the ball. Fast Energy is yet to throw an incompletion. And, the defense of DC has been basically holding up as well. But I love the way how the Revs answered back on their last possessions. We see Synergy 5 for 5 there. But I like the way how the Revs answered back. Got Tommy Utah back involved in the passing game. Salmon's had a few rushing attempts there, especially one right up the middle. He almost broke one. But yeah, so I think that Kevin Say is probably is the target for the play of the game.
91 rushing yards, also a touchdown receiving for Kevin Say. He's definitely been a key for these Dragons. As we welcome you back here to the Coliseum here in Washington, D.C., our nation's capital. Otis Boudreau to kick off for the Revs from the 30-yard line. Harrison up the middle. Gets a nice return up to the 24. And for the first time this evening, let's go to Cameron Irvine for a game break.
Thank you, Colin. Denver in Portland tonight as Cyrus Jive throws off of his back foot and connects with his receiver in the end zone for the score. 7-7 in the second between Portland and Denver. Back to you guys in D.C.
Very interesting game there. Of course, Jacob Bavette, the owner of the Portland Fleet, started his SFL career with the Denver Nightwings, so a little bit of reunion there as Kevin Say gets the carry on the first play of the second half, picking up 7 yards there, Damon.
Yeah, that was a jacked up tackle there. Not sure what Kevin Say was doing or even why he decided to go airborne, especially on Tank Bennett. Man, you can't jump over dudes 6'4", 227 pounds.
Although, to be fair to the Moose, there was a guy down in front of him, so he thought to go airborne. He probably didn't expect Bennett there. Say, called it that time by Bennett to set up a 3rd and 2. Man, this guy hits hard.
Yeah, it sure does.
And Dragons, they've been efficient so far. A lot of these 3rd and short situations. Let's see what they pull out of their playbook here. It'll be a throw out to Stellar, who's wide open and got plenty for the first down. He's just running down the field before finally stepping out of bounds on his own volition. A huge pickup on 3rd.
Yeah, that was a nice dump off there from Sebastian to Chuck Stellar. Take a look at it here. Goes out in the flats. Looks like one of those F routes there. get outside to the numbers, turn it upfield. Nice block there. Can't see who's on the block there, though. But that was an awesome block. That was 84. That was Josh Gill. Yeah, nice block by Gill.
Number 84 putting in the dirty work.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't called his name much, but felt compelled to give him a shout out there as the Dragons will go empty backfield with Kevin Zay flexed out on a wing position as he goes in motion to the top of your picture. And Sabaz back to throw again, fires, incomplete, and we have our first incompletion of the game for Sabaz Synergy, throwing for Coco, the intended receiver.
Yeah, I think Sabaz Synergy probably had his eye on that twist from the D-line stunt there, and one of the D linemen was basically getting a little pressure on the outside towards his right, and he basically on that pass attempt, he threw it just a little bit high for Lauren Prococo, but Prococo, I think if she would have jumped, probably could have came down with that one, especially standing there at 6'7".
2nd and 10, toss out to Say. Say has all kinds of room, tries to spin back inside, but Dante Grimm limits the damage to pick up a 5 yards.
Yeah, that was a nice run there by Kevin Say, especially on the toss play there. 3rd and 5 there. As you stated, picks up 5, over 100 yards rushing for Say. This guy is no stranger to being a 100-yard club.
He's up over 100. He's unofficially sitting around the 103-yard mark. Churchill in motion, followed by Nathan Blake. As Synergy fires, it's going to be tipped. Oh, almost intercepted by Arthur. And that'll force a 4th down. Arthur almost came down with that one, Demond.
Yeah, that pass was intended for Ronnie Shanahan. Great defensive play there by the DBs. As you stated, could have came away with that interception. That's the 2nd incomplete or missed pass attempt for Sabaz Synergy. They're going to keep the field goal unit off the field and bring on the punt team.
Punter standing back at his own 50. Trying to aim this one to the corner, and looks like he will do so successfully. It'll bounce just past the 20. 1st and 10, Revolution. They take over on their own 14 is where they'll officially mark the ball. Collier in the I formation with Salmons. Here's the get to Salmons up the middle. Oh, he's stuffed out for no gain. It's Declan O'Rourke. Like you said, Damon, he's back from injury and looks to be in top form.
Yeah, he shot straight up the middle as if he knew exactly where the ball was going. I mean, Dwayne Salmons had no chance at all to get any productive yards there.
12 carries now for Salmons. Throw down the middle. Liam Hammer's wide open. And Peanut Save brings him down past the 40-yard line. But Hammer again continues to be a menace to this Dragon defense.
We may have to start calling Tommy Utah Mr. 3rd down. I mean, because his 3rd down percentage in this game is pretty productive, as we just see him throw that dot to Liam Hammer, probably his #1 receiver on this ball club, as Liam Hammer has been probably the most productive out of the receiving group.
Offset I formation, Utah back to throw, fires out to Salmons, a little dump pattern, and there goes Salmons, knocked down after pick up of 6 yards. It'll be 2nd and 4.
Yeah, Salmons picked up 6 yards there on that little dump off. Getting outside, looks like he was trying to get outside a little bit more, trying to get a stiff warm up as well. But the defender played great, used the sideline to an advantage to basically pin Salmons to that sideline to get the tackle.
Pitch out to Salmons as they had John Michael Sutton split out wide at the X. Peanut Say with the tackle to set up a 3rd down again. This time it's 3rd and 2.
Yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing from the linebackers here of DC. You know, although one guy got there, missed the tackle, another one came in and shut it down. You know, it's great pursuit to the ball. Everyone should be running to the ball at all times.
And they get some more runners as Peanut Say again makes the tackle a yard short of the 6. Salmon's unable to get the first down.
And Peanut Say gets up showing the fist, meaning 4th down. No gain of progress.
That's 7 tackles or solo tackles for Peanut Say. 1 assist from the cornerback position.
Yeah, he's been pretty active.
Harrison gets knocked out of bounds at his own 14-yard line where that drive will begin.
Yeah, and here comes this DC offense. As we saw last possession, they had a nice drive going, but unfortunately couldn't get into field goal range and had to settle for a punt. Played great defense to get the 3rd down stop, the 4th down.
Here's Churchill in motion. Synergy. He's missed his last couple of throws. He'll start off with a pass on first down. Down the middle. Catch made by Ronnie Shanahan. His 2nd catch of the ball game is good for about 11.
Yeah, this looks like all arrows here. No, I'll take it back. Looks like Gio and the receiver who made the catch were on arrows. Nice look there by Sebastian Synergy. Catches receiver right across the middle of the field.
7 of 9 now with Synergy for 95 yards and 2 touchdowns. He tosses this one out to Kevin Say. Say has room. Breaks the tackle. Tank Bennett, but Arthur cleans it up, but not after. Say picks up 8 yards on the play.
Yeah, Kevin Say is a nice hard runner. Look at it here. Gets outside, makes Tank Bennett miss, but unable to get past the 2nd defender there. But nice gain of distance there. I mean, he picks up 8 yards on that carry there, and he's averaging right at 4.7 yards a carry.
2nd and 2 out of the eye, and bringing a 3rd tight end. Now they motion for Coco out wide. She's followed out there by Arthur, the corner. They pitch that way. Say has room. He's up over the 50. He's up over into Louisiana territory at about the 48-yard line. Best guess, first down for the Moose.
Let me break this replay down here for you, Colin Northrup. Look, they did not give it to me, but he went inside first to distract the defense or to make them think he was going inside with that run, and then he bounced it outside where the open field was. And here we see now he's over 130 yards for the day at 5.6 yards for an average.
It's 24 carries, and I doubt they'll stop at 24. Here's number 25 to Say, and Say picks up 2 more yards. Blake B. Grace brings him down, big number 96. It'll be 2nd and 8. Sebastian Synergy looking like a cool customer back there. There's Gill and Shanahan are the wide receivers. Pitch out to Say. Hurdles over a down blocker. Will make it 3rd and 3 for DC. Now available free to download. You can play the SFL video game on the go on the Retroid Pocket 3 Plus and emulator for 4K23 in the palm of your hand. Order your Retroid today at GoRetroid.com. Search SFL and download our mod at simulationfl.net/4K23. I tell you what, the Retroid has been a big boon to not just me, Damon, but almost everybody across the league. Tank Bennett will make it 4th and 2.
Yeah, I've heard great things about the Retroid, even from some of my team members and so forth, about how great it is to have the Retroid. You can take it with you on the go. You don't have to pause your game on your computer. You can just take your Retroid with you, watch it as you're going out or whatever on the town. If someone else is driving, you can be watching Sims and so forth. So that's a pretty good deal there of having a Retroid.
Fair catch called at the 14. That's where the Revs will start. They're still down 7 with 2:54 left to go in this quarter, Demont.
I'll tell you what, Colin, it would have been nice to have a Retroid last October when I went on vacation, drove from Houston, Texas to Cincinnati, and then drove all the way down to Georgia, then back to Houston. Had a playoff game, had to watch it on my cell phone in the car.
Banks was open there, but he just dropped the ball to Mount, number 80 there.
Yeah, I'm not sure why he didn't come away with that reception. Wasn't anyone really there in the vicinity? Unless he probably just lost concentration and focus of the ball as it was coming towards him. As we stated, normally when you see that, that means that the wide receiver is thinking about heading upfield and who's coming to hit him in that situation.
As they go 3 wide with Lyric Da Vinci lined up at the tight end spot. They go Da Vinci's direction, but Bullock knocks it down incomplete. Ooh, that was real dangerous, Damon.
Yeah, Bullock had INT number 2 on his mind, Colin. As we just saw him jump right in front of that receiver to not get that pass deflection there. I mean, he's having a pretty nice game of his own.
Dragons have been unable to get pressure on these key third down situations. As Utah's back to throw, has to move a little bit, fires! Nice catch out there by Lyric Da Vinci, number 11. It's a first down for Louisiana.
Lyric Da Vinci had to do a ballerina catcher. Look at this here. Look at the toes. Watch the toes. Point it. As if he was on the sideline or so. But I like the way he had the toes pointed like a ballerina or so. Keeping concentration, turning the body, catching the ball with his hands and not with the body.
14 of 20 now is Utah. Gives off to Simmons, has blockers, but only able to pick up 2 yards.
Yeah, that strong side of the defense for the DC Dragons was waiting on a run play to come to that side of the field. Must have sniffed it out, may have saw something they saw on film, but Simmons do pick up 2 yards on it there.
3 wide receivers out of the eye. Utah back to throw. Will fire out to Simmons along the sideline, and they say he got the first down before he stepped up. But as we go back to Cameron Irvine for a game break, what do you got, Cam?
Thank you, Colin. After an 11-play drive from the Denver Nightwings that resulted in a touchdown, it was Leo Morris getting some key blocks, stiff-arming the kicker, and going all the way to the house. Second kick return for Portland this season. 17-14, Denver on top by 3, a close one. Back to you guys in D.C.
Man, if it's not Robert Johnson, it's Leo Morris. Of course, Johnson's kickoff return occurred in the preseason as Peanut Say knocks that pass down to force 2nd and 10 to Mond.
Yeah, Peanut Say basically jumped that route, played it very well. Come up with that pass deflection. Not only is Bullock having a good game, but Peanut Say is as well. Peanut Say has 7 tackles, 1 assist, a few pass deflections.
As the throw, Adam Banks dropped it again for the 2nd time in this drive, and he's looking at his hands on saying, "What did I do wrong?"
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with Banks today, but Banks' head is not in this game. But I think Banks may have been interfered with on that target there. I think there was PI by the defender.
But alas, the referee keeps his flag in his pocket. Lyric Da Vinci in motion to the top of the formation. Now it's 2 by 2. Back to throw is Utah. Fires down the field. Catch made that time by Banks. So after going catchless with 3 drops, he comes up big on 3rd down.
He came up real big on that 3rd down there, Colin. And, there's a term out there, I'm pretty sure you heard it before, almost intercepted by Josh Vasquez. But there's a big saying out there, a quote should we say, big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games. And that was a big-time play right there by the wide receiver, Adam Banks.
As we are approaching a final minute to go in the 3rd, Dwayne Simmons with yet another catch, runs over Declan O'Rourke and picks up 5 well-earned yards as Bullock had to clean up the mess.
Wow, Simmons basically came in and was trying to do work. I mean, take the guy out. These are F1 jokers.
John Michael Sudduth in motion to the bottom of the screen. He's now the widest player in the field. They toss the other way to Simmons, and that doesn't work. Stop for no gain. Combo tackle made out there on Simmons. That's his 16th carry of the ball game, Damon. Haven't seen Chris Grant Jr. in the backfield for a while, and Cameron Collier has been nothing more than a blocking escort for either one of these backs so far.
Yeah, you're right. We haven't seen Chris Grant Jr. in a while, nor have we seen Chuck Taylor, but it's been basically the two main guys going head to head.
Utah fires underneath. Da Vinci has it for the first down, and that'll be the closing play of the third quarter. As we get another look at it here, Damon.
Yeah, that was a nice reception. Nice comeback route there for Lyric Da Vinci. Right across the middle of the field there, right in front of the linebackers. Picks up the first down.
Put your 4s, 86s, 68s up in the chat. It's the end of the third. Chris Curtis, read us our
Presentation of the Simulation Football League is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or account of the game without the express written consent of the league office is prohibited.
As we start the fourth and final period, Colin Northrup, Damon Simeon, here in the broadcast booth with you, our statisticians Ramos Lynn and Frank Gooden. It's the Louisiana Revolution first down on the DC 20. Utah fires it into a tight window, and Banks hauls it in for a second straight grab, Damon.
Yeah, that was a gutsy pass there by Tommy Utah. I mean, he threw that right in between two guys, Declan O'Rourke and also the cornerback, Xavier Rowe III, also known as X-Man.
Look at the numbers for Utah. He's up over the 200-yard mark now.
Yeah.
And Utah give out to Simmons. He's over a defender for second, and he's in for the end zone. Touchdown, Louisiana. We're an extra point away from a tie.
Now we see here Dwayne Sammons answered right back. Say, hey, there's a train on the tracks. You're standing on it, and I'm coming right through. Boom! Sorry, Declan O'Rourke. Sorry, 22. I got an appointment with the end zone, and I got to cross Hollywood Boulevard, baby.
I get an extra point here to get us a tie game, and here with 9:30 to go in the ball game. Just started the fourth quarter, and we're tied at 21 apiece. APM Music is unrivaled music to bring your story to life, inspiring every production with the world's most robust and constantly refreshed music collection, state-of-the-art technology, and world-class customer service. APM Music is the official soundtrack of the Simulation Football League. To explore our library and find the perfect tracks for your project, visit apmmusic.com. Sam Harrison up the middle. Tackle made by Nathan Blake on special teams as the Dragons will start from their own 25.
Colin, the Revs come into today's game with two losses, two back-to-back losses. And both of those losses, Colin, the Revs scored a total of, but scored 20 points in both of those losses. The Revs is now sitting at 21 points, which is their highest scored game this season.
And what a time to come up big. Of course, you're sitting 1-2 trying to get to 500. Of course, DC at 500, but trying to get above it. Synergies down the middle, throw is incomplete. Looking for Churchill. 2nd and 10.
Yeah, I think that was a beautiful target there by Sebastian Synergy. Going to Churchill there. Churchill was open. He should have made that reception, but I do see that there was a defender right on his left hip pocket there, but I think he could have came away with that reception.
Here's Gill in motion to the bottom of the screen. Now sets up in the slot next to Churchill. Throw out to Kevin Say. He caught it, but he'll lose a yard. Ronald Hood with an outstanding tackle.
Yeah, I saw that play blowing up partner way before he even dumped it off to the halfback. I knew if he threw it there was no way that play was going to be successful. Great defensive play by Rollerman Hood.
Here's Synergy back to throw. Has to move around the pocket. Will take off and run. He sees the first down slides, but he lost the ball. It's on the ground, but I think DC fell on it with Josh Gill. It'll still be a first down regardless.
Yeah, if we get a replay here, look at this. Sebastian Synergy is holding that thing like a loaf of bread, and he did not tuck the ball. On the dive, it looks like it either was knocked out by a Revs defender or it hit his leg, and that ball came loose. But he's lucky that Josh Gill did fall on that ball.
Here's Say to single back in the backfield. He gets the pitch out. Say has all kinds of room and will pick up 6 yards on the play tackle made by Arthur.
Yeah, and I'm not sure why they didn't have Kevin Say rolling in the offense early in the drive. Basically, he could have been burning up clock. We saw a few tackles for loss on the screen to Say, and then a drop ball which stopped the clock to Churchill. He ball to Say to run the clock out.
Here's Say, stiff arm, first down. As we now approach under 8 minutes to go. Guy Clausen in the chat reminding me that there was a similar situation that happened in the game I called the convention between Arizona and San Diego with a weird, crazy sort of fumble play.
Yeah, that's one thing about these quarterbacks. When they take off the scramble, I mean, they're not protecting the ball. As I stated, Synergy was holding that thing like a loaf of bread is what my coach used to always tell us, back in the day. Stop holding the ball like that. Tuck it. Although you're a quarterback, stop trying to look cute like Randall Cunningham.
Here's the pitch out to Say. And he'll get tackled after a gain of 2. Sunday's slate is packed with good matchups starting at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Early window includes undefeated Alamo City and Houston, plus North leader Canton heads to Baltimore. Out on the West Coast, in the nightcap, Vancouver welcomes Mexico City, and San Diego visits Las Vegas. It all comes your way tomorrow night on SFL YouTube, as there's an appearance of Chuck Stellar sets up a 3rd and 5 demand.
Yeah, Chuck Stellar paid for that run attempt there from the defense of the Revs. Somebody came up and laid a boom hit on him. But I'm thinking that what I'm seeing is that the Revs is picking up against the defense, the defensive run coverage here, should we say. They're playing great coverage versus the run here against DC.
Here's Synergy back to the throw, has to take off and run. Needed 5, but only got 1. It'll be 4th down.
Yeah, it looked like he tried to take off to try to pick up not only the first down, but get the ball a little closer to that field goal range. They're at the 40-yard line, and they're going to have to punt the ball away here. And the Revs going to be paying deep, if not a touchback.
Here's the punt away to be angled toward the sideline. There will be no return. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Revs, depending on where the officials spot the ball.
Yeah, this would be excellent field position for the Revs in this situation due to the situation that they were in. Could have been a whole lot worse than what it is, but you're at your own 20, and then your back is not up against the wall on the goal line. I would say this is great field position for the Revs.
I formation, 2 receivers to the bottom. Utah back to throw, fires out to Sammons. Sammons has room, has to stiff arm a man. Down the sideline he goes, stays in bounds, breaks a tackle, and Dwayne Simmons making it happen with his legs after the catch.
This was hilarious. I mean, look at this stiff arm here from Sammons on Declan O'Rourke. Sit down. And it looked like, I thought he stepped out of bounds right there, but he did not. I mean, that's talking about keeping your head on a swivel and focusing on where you at on the field. This ball game is all tied with 6 minutes and 5 seconds left, and the Revs have the ball, and they have a nice drive going. What can DC do?
It'll be very interesting as the Revs line up in the offset I formation. Collier in front of Sammons. Utah back to throw. Fires down the field. Tipped and incomplete by Peanut Say, who gets the deflection. And Damon, I know you're particularly interested And not only your team playing in the early window against fellow divisional opponent Alamo City, but what other games going on later do you have your eye on?
I'll answer that for you right after this play, Colin.
But it's Tommy Utah back to throw. Ooh, he ducked out of a sack, but not a second attempt, as that was Kaysen, number 91, the defensive tackle, came screaming in after Utah ducked out of one sack attempt. Fortson, rather.
Yeah, that was a big sack.
Loss of 6 on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 16 as we now approach 5:25 and counting to go. Utah back to throw, fires. He's got Da Vinci, but he'll be 2 yards short of the sticks. Admirable attempt there. Pick up a 14, but they needed 16. Peanut Say again racking up another tackle.
Yeah, unable to get past the lines of game there, and not able to get past midfield there. Now Louisiana can go for this, but they're going to settle for the punt here. I thought they probably would try to go for this with 4:56 left in the game, and they're going to rely on their defense. Now, partner, you asked me what game am I looking for tomorrow. I must say that it is the Mexico City and Vancouver game. Vancouver came off a great win last Monday night versus the Las Vegas Fury. It was a defensive battle between both of those teams. Mexico City is yet to win a game here in season 21 of the SFL. Vancouver is sitting at 2-1 so far.
Could be an interesting matchup for sure. Of course, the big news this week is the Aztecs cutting Phoenix Jones.
I saw that. We need a whole soapbox episode for that one.
Synergy down the middle, Josh Gill with the catch. He had one target before this, but he recovered a Subaz fumble, and this time he hauls in a nice pass for a big first down to start the drive.
Yeah, look at this. Subaz Synergy sitting in the pocket there. Beautiful throw to Josh Gill there. And man, this team has been basically very productive in their passing game.
According to our statisticians, Synergy is now 9 of 12 for 113, and I'll add to that total again as he finds his favorite target today, Roaring for Coco for the first down as we approach under 4 minutes to go.
Yeah, although there was 2 big first down plays on first down, I have to talk about the third down efficiency for both of these teams. DC is at 7 and 10 for third down, and Louisiana is 8 of 11. Both of those teams are sitting at 70% when it comes to third down percentages. I mean, the offensive coordinator has to be ecstatic or excited for both of their teams.
DC's only 2 for 5 on third downs in this half. They were perfect 5 for 5 in the first half. Louisiana was 5 of 6 on third down in the first half. They're 3 of 5 in the second. So these two teams playing each other real close. It's nip and tuck as we hit 3:27 and counting. This is 2nd and 2. Stellar lined up in the fullback spot. Pitch out to Kevin Say, following his blocks. Spins off again, and he gets a first down.
Yeah, Colin, this game is so close. Before that toss play to Kevin Say, the total of yards were separated by 5 points. 338 for DC and 333 for Louisiana. These two teams match up very, very well.
Here's Cooper Allen, the fullback. First time we've called his name today, and Allen picks up 3 yards on the little delay. 2nd and 7. So DC crossing up this Louisiana attack as the fullback, the rookie fullback, gets in on the act. Synergy. Pitch out to Say, oh, he's hit, and the ball's on the ground, and Gary Clem falls on top of it. Gary Clem with the play of the game for Louisiana. He read that like a book.
Yeah, let's look at it, Colin. Here on the replay. Oh, we're not gonna get a replay on it, but man, that was a hard, that was a devastating fumble there by Kevin Say. I didn't even think the fumble was by Kevin Say. The quarterback made the toss, but Kevin was unable to get his hands on the ball because the defender was right there, and he knocked him to his backside. That's the. I'll get to that after this.
Here's Chris Britton, a third. Makes the tackle on Simmons as we're fast approaching the 2-minute warning.
And what I was going to say, that's the upside in reference to throwing that toss when you're in split backs like that to the back that is not going to have any blockers on that side of the field where the toss is going. It's always best to make the toss when you have someone that's blocking in front of that running back receiving the toss.
Exactly, Damon. Perfect example there. And we will reach the 2-minute warning. You see the strategy session going over there. Let's see. 2-minute warning. Don't go anywhere. We're tied at 21. Let's see who's in the chat. I see my buddy Guy Clausen in the chat. Will Todd is in the chat. Of course, Chris Britton is in the chat. And I've seen a lot of other people do of DC along with Rowe the third. As Utah throws, it's intercepted. This is returned to the 33-yard line. And oh, what a backbreaking mistake by Tommy Utah, who's been really good this entire ball game.
And Colin, I was just about to say that fumble could be the play of the game, which turns the table for Louisiana. This interception by Xavier Rowe, Weapon X, just may be the play of the game for DC. With 1 minute and 55 seconds left on the clock, they're in field goal range inside of the 35-yard line here, sitting at the 33, should I say, and basically the game is in their hands. Don't be surprised if they keep it on the ground.
They will this time to Say. The pitch is clean, and Say picks up 4 yards, and the clock continues just to tick down.
Yeah, you're right. The clock is still ticking, and that's what you want to do as a runner. I'm not sure why Louisiana is not calling timeouts right here. Maybe they believe that their defense can make a stop.
2nd and 6, split backs.
Yeah, but a lot of time is burning off the clock here.
Pitch out again to Say. Breaks a tackle. Kevin Say. Oh, he got knocked out of bounds by Cray. Stops the clock with 1:25. You could tell Kevin wanted to stay in bounds, but Cray's is like, no.
Yeah, Cray's is like, sir, you gotta get out of here. You gotta stop this clock for me. And I think that was a beautiful play by Cray's, knocking Say out of bounds, stopping the clock. That way, the Revolution get to keep all 3 of their timeouts in their back pocket. Let's just say DC does score here, and the Revs have a minute left on the clock. They can use all 3 of those timeouts on that next possession of offense.
Here to pitch to the other side. Say will get stopped in the field of play. And now the timeouts are being called by the Revs. Here's their first one.
Yeah, they did not have a choice but to take a timeout right there. If they would allow that clock to just continue to run, it would have been devastating for the Revs when they get the ball back. Basically, no time would have. They would have had little to no time on the clock.
Here's Synergy under center. They're gonna throw. He better be careful. He's got a clean pocket. Fires. He's got for Coco wide open, and she falls into the end zone. Touchdown, DC. They have the lead.
Lauren Percoco comes into the ball game and say, "Let me have those touchdowns for the day." And she crosses Hollywood Boulevard herself. Look at it. But this is what I like right here. Catches the ball one hand, keeps her legs turning, falls on the defender, and rolls into the end zone.
That defender is a guy who's garnered a reputation. His teammates call him the Grim Reaper, Dante Grimm. She took him head on, and she won that fight. Potty on for the extra point attempt. With 1:13 left to go in this game, DC is taking a 7-point lead as they go 4 plays, 32 yards, taking only 42 seconds off the clock, following the interception by Weapon X.
Yeah, that was a great drive there from DC after getting the turnover, the forced turnover, should we say, and getting themselves in the end zone. If DC would have had to settle for a field goal, it would have been interesting to see, because the Revs have a total of 1 minute and 12 seconds left on the clock and still have 2 timeouts, right? So
yeah,
it's going to be an interesting drive.
For sure. Let's see. Utah. You see the numbers there on the bottom. Thrown for 242, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Look for Liam Hammer. 4 grabs for 84 yards, 21 yards per catch, even with a long of 25. That was his first grab of the ball game. Here's De Niro in motion. Utah back to throw, fires down the field, and he has. De Niro catches the ball, and they call time. With 1:08 left, they're down to 1 timeout, Damon.
Yeah, DC brought some pressure on that play there, but Tommy Utah stayed in the pocket and was able to throw a dart right across the middle. Here's an update here. Louisiana, last 2 weeks, 23-20 loss in overtime to Canton, 28-20 loss to Baltimore after Hail Mary falls 1 yard short. Now down 28-21. All 1 possession losses.
Let's see if the clutch gene can come through for them as Utah wins. Da Vinci on the rollout, who steps out of bounds with 62 seconds remaining.
Yeah, Tommy Utah rolls out to his left side, sees his receiver. Look at there. You know what that's called, Colin? That was a flood concept. He had 1 receiver going to the sidelines, 2 receivers coming back to the inside. They flood that side of the field, basically get some cross patterns going or so. Hit the open guy right there on the sideline. Boom, stops the clock.
Perfect play call for that situation there, Damon. You could tell the defense was a little stressed out in the back end there. Utah back to throw. Out underneath, Da Vinci. Ooh, he powered through some tackles, and they have to call timeout with 57 seconds left. And that's all the timeouts the Louisiana Revolution have. Let's see how good the hurry up is, Damon.
Yeah, you're right, partner. We would most definitely see that here if they make completions inside of the hash marks along the sideline. But great job by the defense of making the defenders, making the tackle inside of the playing field.
Throw underneath to Len Lease, the tight end. He'll be a yard short of 6, and here we see the hurry up. It's 3rd and 1, but they got a good set from it. Let's see what they do. Oh, Utah spikes on 3rd down, so they'll.
Oh wow! I think I would have ran it. I think I would have ran the play. In that situation, I mean, stopping the clock. Although you 4th and 1, but think about it. You would have had 2 plays in your pocket there, Colin, right?
Right, and now they come out with 4 wide. They only need a yard, but they got to throw it farther than that if they want to keep going.
Maybe they didn't have any audibles in that formation that they liked.
And Gerald Smith, he expresses confusion in the chat as Utah rolls out the opposite way, finds Hammer for the first down, or steps out of bounds with 41 seconds left to give him a fresh set of downs.
Yeah, that was a great play there by Utah. Catching a man wide open. I mean, I'm wondering what is DC's defensive backs are doing to leave a wide receiver wide open like that.
Here's Utah. 3-step drop, fires, it's intercepted. Intercepted by Bullock, his 2nd of the ball game, and that should just about do it for the DC Dragons as they sew up a victory at home.
Darryl Bullock could also be your player of the game, Colin Northrup. I mean, this guy has 2 interceptions, 3 tackles on the day, 1 for a pick 6. I mean, his performance helped DC win this ball game. Those 2 interceptions were key because one of them led to a score for the defense, and they're in the best formation in all of football, and that's victory formation.
And they'll take a knee, maybe 2. They'll get out of here with a victory, and the Louisiana Revolution will fall to 1-3. DC will move to 2-1. Oh boy, I don't know how many more of these pulse pounding finishes Gerald Smith can take, but I'm sure he has to be sick about coming short once again on one of these thrillers.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Colin. And as a coach and an owner, it's devastating when your team lose. And unfortunately for Louisiana, this is going to be their third loss in a row, all decided, Colin, by one possession to score. You know what I mean? And DC is going to roll on with a two game win streak here, and it's hard to see a team like Louisiana, who I know their owners put in hard work or so, to lose.
Look at the total yards were just about the same, but these two teams took very different paths to get there. DC 229 rushing yards, only 145, 272 through the air for Louisiana. And points off turnovers, it's ultimately the stat you would circle. Tommy Utah, he did great, but ultimately his 3 interceptions, including the pick 6, were deadly for his club. Kevin Say leads all rushers. Lyric Da Vinci caught 8 balls for 73 yards. The receiver was Lauren Percoco. She had 2 receiving touchdowns. 12 tackles for Tank Bennett plus 1 assist. Peanut Say led the way with 7 for DC. Fortson had a sack. Peanut also had 2 pass breakups. Bullock had 2 interceptions. Damon, what are your thoughts here as we wrap up this ballgame?
Well, if you look at the rushing yards, let's start there. I mean, Louisiana had 95 to 229 of DC, But then I think, again, we saw Louisiana end up dropping in the third down percentage down to 50%, while DC was still up in that 70% area on third down conversions. This was great defense by the DC Dragons. The Louisiana Revolution only had 1 forced turnover the entire game, which was a fumble. I'm not going to say it was a forced turnover because the ball did not get to the running back. The defender made it there and hit the ball carrier before they can get to him, and that was the fumble there. But got to give kudos to DC. Great offense for the DC Dragons, but even better defense for the DC Dragons in this matchup between the Revolution.
Got to give credit to James Walters, the defensive coordinator for these Dragons, coming over from Vancouver, putting on a master class as far as they bent a lot. You can see about a passing yards, but ultimately were able to get 2 turnovers that they were able to cash in for 14 points, which proved to be helpful in the margin of victory. Thank you to our statistician Frank Gooden and Ramos Lynn, Cameron Irvine, our executive producer. I'm Colin Northup. Damon Simeon, my broadcast partner for this week. Thank you so much for stepping in, Doron. And we'll see you next week, folks. Take care.
See you when we see you. Peace.